Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Xerath Prevails. Guys, today I want to talk about the 3v3 mirror match between REY and REY. Man, I get so frustrated. So first I'll say this, I'm going to put timestamps in the video description if you want to skip to the modding. I'm going to talk about philosophy first here just a little bit and like the strategy of it, just in the context of Grand Arena, and then beyond that, I'm going to talk about modding, and then after that, I'll show gameplay against a really slow-ish, tenacious REY squad with Han and CHEWIE, and then I'll go into the same team comp with REY, Han, and CHEWIE, but with a really, really fast REY, just to kind of show you guys the difference. Like, the strategy isn't that hard. So, let's before we do anything, guys, I do want to say throw a huge shout out to my patrons. You guys are amazing. Thank you guys so much for all of the support. I had to spend a bunch of crystals to test this particular match, among others, but all those crystals, guys, that was the patrons all the way. So really appreciate all the support. You guys literally make it possible for me to do a lot of the things that I'm doing, and I truly appreciate it. Thank you. Okay guys, real quick, I know this is a weird new screen. I have two things I need to just mention though. I was rendering my video already when I remembered these, so the least important is, yes, this match still absolutely works against other REY comps. I'm just showing you guys the toughest, the toughest by far. Really, just apply the same principles. It works against all the other comps. This one was just the hardest, so that's the one I'm showing you guys. Second off, I can't believe I forgot to do this. This is super important, though. I took the inspiration from this video from another content creator, and the fact is the video that he showed doesn't have as much gear, and as you know, like some of the matches he has doesn't have the REY ultimate, and I wanted to show you guys the hardest possible match that you might face in this video, so that's why I'm making this new one. Smaller content creator named Falcon Windrider. So I'm going to have a link to his original video in the video description if you guys want to check him out. He's got 20 subs currently on his channel. So it'd be fun to see how many we can run it up to. Anyways, guys, thank you all for this quick side note, and on to the actual video. Okay, so first let's talk just a little bit about the strategy of this, just because, so people place this team on defense because it gets a lot of holds for them. If the opponent doesn't have a good Supreme Leader Kylo, then it's hard to get through it. The REY, Han, CHEWIE, like it's pretty established that it's a tough team. I'm not going to go into super detail about that specific thing. The fact is, it's very good, and up till now, there hasn't been a really strong off meta or even just meta counter to this. Nothing too consistent, but this can be really consistent actually, guys. This is a very consistent counter. You need to use REY and Bastila and Hoda, which is something you can spare them. They're not necessary for anything crazy in 3v3. So people would place this REY, Han, CHEWIE team on defense a lot because it steals banners. Like, worst case scenario is someone uses Supreme Leader Kylo with Thrawn and Hux, and I'm not going to go into that match right now, but worst case scenario is they go in with that and they get a 47 against you, so they drop like 7 banners, and sometimes you just hold and you just win because you get holds. It's a very strong team, or it has been. And the fact is, I've always put REY on defense, number one, because I think she's an annoying character on some levels. Her mirror matches in 5v5 are the stuff of horrifying legends. So we're not going to do anything with 5v5 with her right now. Eventually I'll show you guys a video of that mirror match as well, but for now we're focusing on 3v3, and the fact is, if you do this mirror, you can get 53 banners, like every time, 54 banners. Like it's very consistent, and it's really strong. So it's like, if you can, like, yes, it sucks because then your opponent doesn't have to take out your own REY on your own defense. But if you can just have a wash for like almost perfect banners, you can play something else strong on defense. Like, that's not a problem. And in fact, there are other teams that are going to be more problematic anyways. So Anyways, this is a very good team. It's very consistent. The strategy, I mean, you can afford it, especially in the days of 4 Galactic Legends. Rey is probably going to be on offense most of the time, even in 5v5. I'll just say that. So let's actually go into modding now, and then we'll show you some gameplay, and you can stop staring at my face. Okay, so this is the team that we're using, the one on the top. So Rey and Bastila and Hoda. So Relic 5, you guys can see the Relic levels. I'm not going to insult your ability to read basic numbers. If my 2-year-old can do it, you can. And if you can't, then find someone else to learn. This is not a learn to count channel. So, Rey, she wants offense everywhere. Everywhere offense when she can find health. Give her health, and give her 6E mods, guys. For God's sake. I see people without 6E modding her because they say, well, she's good enough. She doesn't need those numbers, and it's crazy. But, like, she's a Galactic Legend. She's one of the best characters in the game. Whether or not she's annoying to play or not is another matter. Put 6E on her. Those secondaries, or those primaries, are so helpful, super helpful. Secondaries don't matter as much, so you can see, like, this isn't my very, very best set of mods, because she doesn't need the very, very best, but give her 6E, for real. Like, that extra boost on defense, guys, on her, seriously, it's worth it. So, and I know some of you, the people watching this, are all like proactive players, so I'm sure that you're all just rolling your eyes at me. So let me roll them back at you as best I can through the camera. And now I'll show you guys. So incidental health, as I said, you want health, and I put health sets on her, and then offense on the cross, offense on the triangle, and offense on the arrow. And then everything else, I mean, she has one decent mod. It's not even plus 20, but it's okay. So her final stats, and this, I guess that's the most important part. Her health, like I said, her incidental health, that's great. This is just fine. Not much speed at all. She could probably even be slower and have this work. This works fine, though. And faster would be fine, too. You just don't need to give her your best speed mods, that's all. And then damage. So 11,000-ish physical offense is pretty decent. So the fact is, we don't care about crit damage at all, because sure, I think she can crit on her basic, but who cares about that? She's barely going to be using her basic. Whirlwind doesn't care about it. That just does massive damage. The thing that matters is her ultimate. And it deals true damage, which means it can't crit, but it'll actually use her offense stats. So that's why it's important. Offense and health, if you can. I'm guessing this works fine even without an offense set build, but it'll work a lot better with offense, I think, as long as you have the ultimate. For Bastila, I still have her set from 5v5, so she's pretty quick. You want speed on her. Her two biggest stats are speed and potency. Speed probably doesn't need to be quite this fast. This is for my countering Jedi, or no, he's no Jedi, Supreme Leader Kylo. So this is pretty quick. You don't need her quite as fast, but like I said, more speed is nice. Potency, you want potency on her, frankly. Even at least this much, so this doesn't look like much, 51. And really, if I was being super responsible, I would have a potency set on her, though health is good just because of bonus protection reasons and stuff. But one way or another, if she had a potency set, that would be ideal for her. As it is, I do have the cross, and this counter relies heavily on being able to use her basic to apply, to be able to apply the ability block, and so she's going to be getting plus 40 potency from that, just on her basic, which is the thing that matters. So she'll be at 90, and then Hoda will give her master's training, so she'll be at 115 or something like that. So that's pretty good. There's some Reys that we're going to run into with a huge amount of tenacity, though. So she doesn't get her bonus from battle meditation because she only gives that to other people, not to herself. And Revan isn't here, so she doesn't get her bonus potency from Force Bond. So on her, speed and potency are important. On Hermit Yoda, Literally just speed. Like, just make him kind of fast. This is probably faster than he needs to be. Again, this is for using him against Supreme Leader Kylo, so he's a little faster. And you probably do want the Master's Training Zeta, just in general, for life. So that's the team. Nothing too crazy. I feel like people can manage this modding pretty easily, especially like maybe you can, maybe you don't want to reach the level that mine are at for speed, but like I said, I think this works even without super speed. Let's actually jump into some gameplay footage now. And there was almost a joke saying, let's jump into gameplay footage because we're going to start with a freeze frame, as we do sometimes. I like to show you guys some things that make comments. So what's going on is they're going to try killing either Rey or Bastila. Hoda is stealthed, so he's safe, but Rey or Basti are absolutely fair game in their eyes, and if they focus on Bastila, you got to be really, really careful. But the first stage of this fight isn't to cause a huge amount of damage, it's to make Bastila be able to survive a whirlwind attack by Rey, if that happens, and trying to ability block Rey as much as we can. So the thing I'm going to just keep saying it. Does Rey have ability block? It's an important thing, and you need to start looking at that right now. One other thing I want to point out is I'm going to show you guys, I'm not showing you all of the fights, I did a ton of them, you would be here forever, but as we progress, I'm showing you guys them in order of when I did them, and so my sophistication and ability to actually use a lot of the cool stuff that's available to me in this build actually continues to expand, and so if I make some mistakes early on, I'll try to point them out, but you'll see toward the end that I'm starting to do pretty well. I'm not saying I even have this matchup mastered yet, but it does get better as we progress. So the opening sequence is pretty important. We want to put Lifeblood on Bastila, regardless of what happens. If she's stunned, then even better, but then we want to put Master's Training on Bastila as well, targeting Rey to get ability block off. Now, you may be wondering why ability block is so important, and I mean, the obvious answer is whirlwinds hurt. She can do a huge amount of damage, but we can survive a whirlwind from her if we put enough lifebloods onto Bastila, and she has the lifeblood buff, like that. That absolutely is survivable. The biggest thing, though, is putting lifeblood on her own characters, because Han and Chewie become really difficult to take out, and so if we can just keep her using basics and her ultimate, then we'll be in good shape. Now that isn't really that possible. Eventually she outruns Bastila, she laps her, but trying to keep ability block on her is a worthy objective. So that's what we're going for. And now we're going to try, once we get Bastila to a point that she is pretty survivable, we're going to try killing Han and Chewie. So you'll notice that Chewie has lifeblood, and so in this match, this was a few times in when I was testing, so I did decide eventually, once I do have Whirlwind up, that I would just try killing Han just to see what happened, because he has Guard from Chewie, but he doesn't have anything else. He doesn't have lifeblood. We can do massive damage to him, and it doesn't matter, because the crits on it don't matter. Guard doesn't do anything against it, so once we do kill Han, then Rey does get her ultimate, and so our own ultimate is ready. We pop it right before Rey pops hers, and now I'm gonna freeze frame one more time. So we want to put our ultimate up. If we don't, and she hits us with hers, we survive as long as we have enough lifebloods up, which if you've been spamming it as much as possible, you want to use that ability every time instead of your basic, basically, and just lifeblood all the time, then you'll survive her ultimate regardless. But here's another point I want to make. So you want to do Master's Training here. It's like, okay, so if you call Rey, if you try to train Rey with Master's Training while she's in her ultimate, she doesn't attack. She just hangs out. It'll dispel her tenacity down, which doesn't matter, but the really important thing here, guys, and I kind of misplayed it, but what you can do is you do Master's Training even while in ultimate, because that can potentially get ability block applied onto their own Rey. And like I keep saying, you want to be putting ability block on, because otherwise the fight's going to drag out. So this is how I misplayed it. I targeted CHEWIE for some reason. So we ability blocked CHEWIE, yay. Not what we were going for, but yeah, if I had REY targeted, that would have been ideal. Like I said, I get better at this match as I continue to play it, but as it stands, we have we're both racing to our ultimates again, and we need to take out CHEWIE if we can. Now we want ability block on REY, so that didn't work. Lifeblood again, healing. We want ability block on REY, so she puts lifeblood on CHEWIE. Not awesome. We have enough lifeblood. We can probably afford to hit CHEWIE, and he has so much lifeblood on him that he doesn't die. We put ability block on REY again because that's what we need. But as soon as we have the ability, once REY stops having, once REY has ability block on her, then Bastila can sometimes use her other special to stun CHEWIE. Now, in this case, we may as well use the special to stun him because they're in their ultimate again. We're going to heal everything. REY has her ultimate. We popped our ultimate. Now we get ability block on REY. Take out CHEWIE, and then we're probably going to have to wait until another ultimate, frankly. And here I use Whirlwind. I guess that's fine, probably. The fact is, I just think that Lifeblood there might have been warranted. As it stood, like I said, I keep making small mistakes here. So they do a Whirlwind, no damage to speak of, really. Just keep spamming Whirlwind. Eventually, we're all going to get to our ultimates, and it's going to be swell because we can take her out. Now see, she got lifeblood up again, and I mean that bonus protection just doesn't go away until we actually do enough damage to her to make it go away. So she has her ultimate here. I decided to throw lifeblood on her instead of popping my own ultimate and healing here. Now I can pop my ultimate, and I was kind of hoping to test it initially just to see if we could survive it, and later fights do show that we survive her ultimate anyways. And once REY actually gets to have a turn, you can see she is gone. So we did 353. Now I'm freeze framing this just to show you guys how much damage we did. This is going to be relevant a little bit later. I'll show you guys the screenshot again compared to when we have offense up on her for her ultimate. So we got the win, excellent, and now we're going to do this again. Once again, they shoot REY to start with. And so we're going to do Lifeblood on Basti. I don't know what my holdup is. And so we're going to put Lifeblood on her. They mutually put Lifeblood on each other. We want to put that Master's Training on Bastila again to get ability block on REY. And again, this REY has 170% tenacity, so we're not going to land it every time, which means we need to be as consistent as we can trying to get that ability block applied. And I think I get some of my order of operations wrong here, frankly. I probably should have put Lifeblood on Bastila here again. It's just so tempting to use Whirlwind, so we didn't quite kill CHEWIE. But you can see how close Bastila came to death here. If we'd put Lifeblood on her one more time, probably wouldn't have gotten that close to death. So now REY is in her ultimate. Both of her adds are still alive. We don't want to do a basic from Bastila there. We want to just stun CHEWIE if we can, because REY can't take ability block anyways from Bastila there. Anyways, we got our ultimate up right before she hit us with hers, and now we get ability block from Hoda, do our ultimate, kill CHEWIE, and now REY already had ability block, so using our basic there from Bastila wasn't the greatest. We probably should have just tried to stun Han, frankly, because he doesn't have guard anymore because CHEWIE's gone. Now, and it led to this, so probably should have done more Lifebloods, frankly. That's the only time in all my testing that Bastila died, and I wanted to show you guys how it played out, but frankly, it's still going to be a win. Now it's just we're going to be spamming Lifeblood. There's nothing that our REY can do to stop theirs from popping Lifeblood all the time, so, she pops her ult, we pop ours. Now, we're going to use our ult, almost take her out, but she's had so much lifeblood that it's just taking a while to actually kill her. So probably have to wait until we get another ultimate. At some point she did have her damage immunity proc, so that was good. Put lifeblood on Hoda, because why not, I suppose. And just going to try to kill her the old-fashioned way, I guess. So, using whirlwinds, using ultimates, using all that stuff. It's great. It's a little bit nerve-wracking to have your REY versus their REY. In this kind of situation, having Bastila here would make things a lot better. So this just goes to show, like, use your REY. Use your REY wisely. Use lifeblood as much as you can. That should be your default. So you note that I actually survived her ultimate easily without actually having my own ultimate up. Like, we just absorbed that damage, and now we can just take her out. Not amazing situation, but we still did get it. And now let's go to another match. So you can see they shot Bastila first here, and so we need to make sure she survives. We put lifeblood on her. Now we're going to put Master's Training on her. You can see I targeted REY for this, so we got ability block. Wonderful. Now we're going to do something that's a little more advanced. You can see my sophistication is increasing. So REY has her ability block on her already. We don't need to use basic. We want to save that middle ability for when REY is in her ultimate, which I think I actually do in this fight as well. So we can't stun Han. We could debuff him or cleanse him, whatever, but we can't actually stun him because he has guard from CHEWIE. CHEWIE can be stunned, though, so because REY already has ability block, we can afford to use the second special and try to stun CHEWIE and dispel whatever's on him. So that's what I'm doing. We got the stun on him, which is great because now he's not assisting or doing anything of note. We're still just spamming lifeblood as much as we can, trying to make sure the Bastila survives. Because REY and Hoda are going to survive regardless. So you can see I had Whirlwind available, and I just put lifeblood on anyways, just to make sure. So we've got ability block on REY. Now we can take a bite out of CHEWIE just in time before the ultimate struck. And now, instead of trying to ability block someone who can't be ability blocked while they're in ultimate, I did stun Han so that he can't shoot, may as well. Got her ultimate off before she got hers, and now you can see I called Master's Training once again, tried to get ability block, it worked, and now we did some damage, wonderful, and trying to figure out what to do here. We could call REY to assist or something like that with Bastila. I wanted to save her buff, though, for something a little later, because we're getting ready for the ultimate here. If we can take out Han pretty quick here before REY gets her ultimate, then we'll be able to just take her out with our own ultimate a little later. So that's what we did. We want ability block on her, though she did get her ultimate, so that didn't really matter that much. Saving the assist call, and now I'm like, okay, so let's just do lifeblood here, because if their REY does hit us with her ult, like, we'll be able to absorb it because we have so much lifeblood on everyone anyways, and we want to make sure that our own ultimate, like, that we don't lap her and she's still in her ultimate before we go. So as you can see, we absorbed that big hit, and then we popped our ultimate. Now I wanted to pause here. So what you may or may not have noticed, because it happened pretty quick, I put the buff onto REY from Bastila, which gives her offense up, and you can see she's almost doing 500k true damage here. So like I said, like, crit damage doesn't matter at all, it's just raw offense. And the reason I say that is this is the freeze frame from earlier. Without offense up, she's only doing 353. Now 353k is still pretty impressive, it's probably enough, but if you have the presence of mind, if you have the ability to get offense up on REY right before she does her ultimate hit, it's going to do some damage. And so we got the win here. Now we're going to switch a little bit. So the guy I faced previously, right before this, he had a tenacity build with a pretty slow REY, and I'll show you guys now. I asked him to put some speed mods on REY, and now she is 585 speed, so about as fast as she can get. Really, really fast mods, and I didn't change anything. Let's see how it changes. I was really curious to see how a speed build would work instead of a slow tenacity build. So, once again, we're going to put Master's Training and Lifeblood on Basti, and then we have Ability Block on REY, so we get the stun on CHEWIE, and Lifeblood, just spamming Lifeblood all we can, all the Lifeblood, Lifeblood, Lifeblood. Hope you guys aren't playing a drinking game that requires me to say Lifeblood and drink, because if you did, I probably killed you. Now, as you can see, I err on the side of putting Lifeblood on Bastia. We don't want her to die. That sucked. So let's do a freeze frame here real quick. Probably our final one ever for this video. But you'll note that with a faster REY that we're facing, we actually hit our ultimate first. And we're not going to pop it, though. I mean, it's just a weird thing because their REY is taking more turns, so it's giving us more ultimate charge. Just wanted to point that out. So we're going to just try to whirlwind CHEWIE before they get their ultimate off, because it's nice to actually have some progress. No sense in doing ability block. I keep trying to do it, and when her ult is up, we just can't get it on her anyways. Got our ult up before she did her hit, though that doesn't really matter that much, frankly. Once again, targeting REY, we got ability block off using Master's Training, and now both have Master's Training. Did the ultimate. They're both in damage immunity, so now if they're in damage immunity, we can either stun or do ability block, and that was foolish of me. You saw how I just did a stun on Han. I should have done ability block with Bastila, but sometimes we just do dumb things because we're humans, and I am a human, so I did a dumb thing there. It wasn't too bad, though. And now we do have ability block on her. We survived her big hit anyways, and now hopefully we can take out Han before ultimates are reached once again. But once again, we're erring on the side of Lifeblood. We want Lifeblood as much as we can. So we have ability block on REY. We don't need to call an assist on Basti. She was going to pop her ultimate anyways. Put Lifeblood on someone. Try to do ability block for no apparent reason, and now we can pop our own ultimate, and you can see I'm outsped by like 100 speed here. My REY is like 100 speed slower. So here I'm going to show you guys the damage freeze frame. We put the offense up from Bastila onto REY, and then she was able to just kill both Han and REY in one hit from her ultimate. Pretty cool. Not absolutely necessary, but just kind of a cool thing, and without that offense up buff from Bastila, I don't think we would have gotten this double kill. That being said, I mean, it worked fine. It's not absolutely 100% necessary that we do that, but yeah, kind of a cool opportunity to show you guys that screenshot. And this is going to be the final one, guys. So same speed set on REY. And once again, so they targeted Bastila. She's like on death's door. But we just spam Lifeblood here. That's what we do. We have ability block on REY, so we put it on, or so we put stun on CHEWIE, so he's not assisting. And now, just spamming Lifeblood, we can heal from Hoda, regenerate some of that lost actual protection. And so I did use the Whirlwind on CHEWIE. I honestly should have put Lifeblood on Bastila again, but man, it's just so hard to resist sometimes. Once again, we had ultimate available. We didn't use it though. And now we pop our ultimate. She hits us for 0 damage. And we want to get ability block. Wonderful. So when they put speed on their REY, they lost all that extra tenacity. So now getting ability block is a lot easier. I actually think that the tenacity build was more difficult than the speed build. Like, the speed build just seemed a lot easier. Now, once again, we got ability block on her. Man, you guys keep hearing me say ability block. I hope you're not sick of it. I probably should have just keep calling it like AB or something. Anyways, way too late for that. We're way past that point. So you guys know what's going on here. I've talked myself hoarse almost trying to make this video, which is fine. But one way or another, yeah. Once you have it, guys, it's not that tough. Really not that tough. It's been a lot of fun trying to figure this one out, and you guys can see we still have 3 minutes. Yeah, sure, we have to kill Han, but I mean, 3 minutes left, guys. 3 minutes left is just not that bad. You know, the REY mirror match horror that everyone has, I think we're just good. So I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you all so much for watching my video. I hope you liked it. Hope it was helpful. Hope that REY stops being a menace and we start seeing more interesting teams. So thank you all so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Xerath prevails.